It was a night heavy with silence. The desert winds had stilled, as if holding their breath. Beneath the starlit sky, an aging man named Abram lay sleepless in his tent. At 75, Abram had once heard the voice of God, a promise of descendants as numerous as the stars. But now, decades had passed, and still no child, no heir. Doubt flickered in his heart. Was the promise forgotten? But then, as the stillness deepened, a mysterious light filled his tent, soft, otherworldly. The voice returned, no longer distant but near, as if God himself had stepped into Abram's world. I am God Almighty. Walk before me and be blameless, and I will multiply you exceedingly. Genesis 1:7-12. I will establish my covenant between me and you. Abram, trembling before the divine voice, lowered his head. Then, something extraordinary happened. God spoke again, not just to renew the covenant, but to give Abram a new identity. No longer shall your name be Abram, but your name shall be Abraham, for I have made you a father of many nations. Genesis 17:5. The name Abram meant exalted father, but God expanded it to Abraham, meaning father of multitudes. Even though Abraham had no son with his wife Sarah, God spoke of nations, kings, and a future beyond human comprehension. Abraham's heart burned with a mix of joy and disbelief. Could it truly be? I will make you exceedingly fruitful, and I will make nations of you, and kings shall come from you. Genesis 17:6. As the vision faded and the desert returned to stillness, Abraham rose a changed man. The promise that had once felt distant now seemed close, tangible. He believed that nothing was impossible for God. Abraham's household bore the mark of the covenant, and he carried the weight of a destiny far greater than his years. Nations would rise from him, kings would come, and through his line, the world would one day see salvation. I will establish my covenant with Isaac, whom Sarah shall bear to you at this set time next year. Genesis 17:21. As Abraham gazed into the starry expanse above, he could almost see the faces of the multitudes yet to come. God's promise was true. Genesis 17 isn't just the story of an old man and his wife receiving a miraculous promise. It's about a God who keeps his word no matter how impossible it seems. Abraham believed, and that faith was counted as righteousness. Through Abraham's obedience, the world would one day be blessed with the ultimate promise, Jesus Christ, the Savior of all nations. And if you are Christ's, then you are Abraham's seed, and heirs according to the promise. Galatians 3:29.